Life appears normal on the streets of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, until you visit the public primary schools. The classrooms are completely empty, the school grounds deserted and overgrown with weeds, and some buildings are already falling into ruin. It's the situation all over the state. A prolonged strike action by public school teachers is exacting a heavy toll. The problem started with the implementation of a minimum wage for public servants in the state, including school teachers.
When the minimum wage was approved in the state, and before its approval, I was part of the negotiation on behalf of the teachers. And so when this was approved, that means the teachers also must be part of the wage. And so what we were collecting before the coming of the minimum wage was what other workers were collecting. The only difference we were having was the 27.5% enhanced allowances for the teachers, which we also fought for it. And this was also approved by the Governors Forum.
What I decided to do was to appeal to the core civil servants, where ab initio we made a mistake of increasing their salary out of proportion, to at least let us take a small percentage of what we had increased for them so that we'll be able to accommodate teachers. There's no way, even if the teachers are on strike for 20 years, I can't raise 4 billion to pay only salaries. That is practically out of place.
Meanwhile, where are the children? Well, some are out in the streets struggling to make ends meet.
Then let us go. If I have money, then I will go and enter and high school. I don't know what I will tell government. But I want that when they listen to school, let small children when they enter school soon. Like this boy is not going to school to see what they are doing now. They send pure water.
Some parents have no money to also train them. Some they send them to learn a mechanic or type of organizing. At this they attend instead of going to school. You could imagine their future.
There are a few others who are lucky. Private schools are cashing in on the situation, and children of the privileged are receiving standard education.
Definitely, our academic program and activities go on as normal. We have a school policy that guides us. Even when the government public school are on strike, we still continue our normal school activities.
The private schools are just simply making money. And those that are unfortunate and they cannot get this kind of money to pay, they will just be at home.
And for those who can't afford the cost of attending private schools, all hope is not lost. There are a few makeshift education centers.
Most of the children we have here are from most of the public schools. So when I came and I saw them, I said, okay, something has to be done to keep them busy. So I just opened this lesson for them. I charge a little fee because definitely I have to put things in place. So I collect as little as 500 naira per child.
And as the battle over the implementation of wages continues to rage between the state government and teachers' union, both sides appear unwilling to concede an inch.
If we know the importance of education, particularly primary education, which is the foundation of education, then we feel that the relevant stakeholders would have done all that is needful to ensure that the primary school teachers did not go on strike in the first instance. And if at all they went on strike, they would have done everything to ensure that the strike is not prolonged.
Government is approaching this issue in two main broad directions: to cut down on the cost of governance so that we cope with the reduced inflows of capital coming to the state, and two, to increase the IGR component so that we augment what is the shortfall.
Meanwhile, many public primary school children and perhaps teachers in Benue State continue to suffer the endless holiday. The deserted schools, however, provide accommodation for the internally displaced persons fleeing herdsmen's attacks in neighboring Nasarawa and Taraba states. Now, one lesson the out-of-school children may have learned is the meaning of the adage, when two elephants clash, it is the grass that suffers. For the big story, Charles Eruka, for Channels Television News.